take a pen and a paper and you need to write these things down. Okay, this is all the things that you have to be a successful trader, and there's a lot of things. All right, so either screenshot the screens or write notes, but this is everything you need. Okay, so expectations is a big one. This is why we first start at expectations. Naomi just said she had unrealistic expectations when she came in. Most people do. Okay, most people have unrealistic expectations. Most people overestimate what is achievable in a short space of time, but then because of that, they underestimate the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. They underestimate that. And when you think about it, that is a drop in the ocean, but most people do that. Most people overestimate and then underestimate. All right, they forget about that kind of exponential growth, which they should be going for. They think they're going to get there straight away. Then they go, uh-oh, no, now this is going to take forever. I'm not going to be able to do it. And they ignore the exponential growth. Next thing in expectations is knowing your numbers. Okay, if you know your numbers, you know it's a plan. It's an actual plan, whether that's to replace your income, or it's to develop an income that you need for your expenses, or it's a secondary income. But it's a stamp in the ground, and if you don't know the numbers, you're just working in the wind. You're in the wind. You need to know the expectations. So that's very, very important. Expectations, you need to commit to mastery. Okay, you need to commit to it. You need to know how long it's going to take. You need to know what equipment you need. You need to know how much it's going to cost you in equipment, platforms, brokers, commissions, how much of your time. You're going to need that, because if you haven't got any of these expectations, guess what you're going to do? You're going to give up very, very quickly when you hit one of these things. But if you know it, you're going to preempt it. So the next thing is efficiency. All right, now this is going to hit home. I want you to kind of shout out if this resonates with you, any of these. Shiny object syndrome. Who's had that? Who's jumped system? Who's gone down a little rabbit hole and then gone, no, don't want this anymore. I'm going to go something else, something else, something else. Right? Is that efficient? No. To be efficient, we need to ditch shiny object syndrome. Remember, you don't have to learn everything about everything. You want to have a focused and closed door environment. You don't want to let that Auntie Mavis, Bob down the pub, all of those people get inside your head and tell you that you're doing something that's wrong, bad, risky, just because they don't understand it. As soon as they get in your head, you're going to have doubts. What you need is a focus, close the door. You need a closed door environment with people with you who are going to support you. Another thing with efficiency is you need to fail quickly. All right, you definitely need to fail quickly and cut losses. So it's not efficient to not be able to adapt quickly or cut your losses. That is not efficient. One, it's going to set you back in terms of your account balance. Two, it's going to set you back in terms of psychology, because you're going to have that ego-driven trading mentality. And it's just not the way to go. To be efficient, you need to be able to fail quickly, learn from your mistake if you've made a mistake, cut your losses quickly, and move on. You need to be able to build a system around your lifestyle. Okay? Now shout out if any of this is hitting home. If you've ever tried to build a system and force it and take trades when you're trying to take a phone call or you're at work on your phone app, that is not efficient. And it doesn't need to be that way. Definitely doesn't need to be that way. Remember I said there's no fluff here, by the way? This is all unarguable, non-negotiable statements that I'm making here. Right? No one can have a second opinion of this. These are facts. And these facts come from thousands and thousands and thousands of data. In fact, millions of comments and views on our videos and social feeds. Millions. Forever white belt. You do not want to be a forever white belt. Right? You can be, if you tried to be a black belt, in one martial art, it will take you about 4 years. If you tried to be a black belt in 4 or 5 martial arts, you would never get anywhere. You'd be going from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and you'd be a white belt in all of them. You need to pick one thing, work on that one thing, and get good at it. Have focus on that and move forward all the time. Broker fees, if you're trading without not knowing what you're doing and not understanding order flow, you're just going to pay the broker. You're going to pay fee after fee after fee. You're going to get in, out, in, out, in, out. Right, here's a fun one. Who has opened a trading account before, not knowing what they're doing, started placing trades, and you can tell everyone in here, like, this isn't going anywhere, placing trades, and just because you feel like it, and you can see the price moving, you get excited, and you feel like a bit of a gamble, so you place a trade, oh, it goes the other way, you come out of the trade. 5 minutes later, you do it again. Oh, let's go in, I'll do that again. Oh, yeah, it's going my way. Oh, no, it's not, I'll come out of the trade. Every time you're paying the broker. You've probably earned a couple of dollars, lost a couple of dollars, and you've paid the broker as well. Not efficient. No need. There is absolutely no need to spend a penny before you're a profitable trader. There isn't. There really isn't. Another thing with efficiency is withdrawals. Obviously, we want to be careful about withdrawals. Too many people, as Akil said, right, thinking about how you're going to spend the money before it's even in your account. You hit the money, cha-ching, you withdraw the money, that's it. What about when you go into a drawdown next? You've now got a bigger drawdown on your hands. So you want to be efficient with that, and we support you with that. Next thing I call ABS, anything but steps, right? You're putting the brakes on your learning because this is where you're doing anything but stepping forward. And these are people, I've got friends of mine that do this, where they'll say things like, yeah, I'm learning, I really do want to learn, I'm listening to all the podcasts, I'm reading all the books. That is not helping. All right? As much as I love my podcast and as much as I promote Akil's podcast, listening to a podcast will not help you learn to trade. And you need to be mindful that you can mistake, right, being active and busy with being proactive and moving forward. Common mistake. Just because you're immersing yourself in, YouTube videos and podcasts and reading Market Wizards and Trading in the Zone. Look, Trading in the Zone isn't a book you're going to learn to trade from. It's a great book, but it's a book. When we did the Vault event, who was at the Vault, by the way, in London? You heard Merritt Black? He said, Trading in the Zone isn't a book you want to read when you're learning to trade. Trading in the Zone is a book you want to read once you've taken some hits. Once you've taken some losses, and then you read it and you go, oh yeah, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. And it's true. When you read that book and you've been through the trenches a little bit, you are like, thank God. Has anyone read that book? It's so true. So true. But don't mistake that. Don't do ABS. Don't put the ABS braking on. Right? Anything but steps. You're not taking steps by listening to a podcast. Don't mistake it for that. You're not. You're not learning